Alright guys, we're going to do a quick how-to video on how to pack a parachute. We got 4 of them laid out, so this is going to be a fun time. We're going to burn through it quick. I'm going to give you guys the quick and dirty way to pack parachutes. This is the way that I've been doing it. There's probably a million other ways that you guys can pack parachutes that work good for you, but this has been a consistent way. I've been doing it for years. Don't really have any issues with it. Seems to come out good, and it doesn't spin real bad, so it's easy to get packed again. So first thing I do, car's been sitting for a while, so I pulled all the parachutes out to repack them, but most of the time when you get back from making a pass, this thing is just going to be all thrown up here. Is what I do on the top end. I literally grab the parachute like this, throw it up here, and we ride back to the pits. So when I get it, the first thing I want to do is walk it all the way out, throw it on the ground. So come back up here, grab this guy, and you try to make it straight the whole way. So you just squeeze it, run your hand down it. You'll get to about right here, right before everything starts to separate, and you'll see there's a yellow little tag. I like to have that tag up. Sometimes it gets a little twist in it here, but that's just me. I don't think it's really that important. You can do it up, down, whatever. These are Stroud 430 parachutes, so they got their 4 different cords. I don't know the proper terminology. I'm not a parachute guy, I just use them. What I do is with one hand I kind of separate it and I walk back with it and make sure I get it nice and straight all the way back to the parachute. When you get back here, you'll have one on top. So this one that's on top, you just grab and pull it out, and you can hold it like this, like the parachute's inflated. This is how it would be if you pull it, you're going down track. This is how it is. So from here, all I do is I just fold it, keep folding it in triangles, so you get all 3 of them up here, and it makes a nice big pizza pie. And then I fold that sucker in half and I lay it on the ground. Right? So you just keep folding it. Get your little pouch all set up. This one's an air launcher, so it doesn't have a spring behind it. I grab this guy here and I fold it back on top of itself, just making another little smaller triangle. So it's like you're folding a pizza in half at this point. From here, I'm just gonna go and make the letter Z, you zigzag it and stack it nicely, because you gotta think, when you put it in here, you want it to come out in order. You don't want to put this end in the bottom and this is on top and then it turns into a ball. So put my hand right here, fold it up and over top of my hand, press down, do it again, up, over top of my hand. And I leave this kind of sticking out. Get this nice and straightened out. You're gonna flip it upside down and stick it in there. This is the hardest part. It's like putting 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. Pull the sides up. And as you can see, you'll have this piece of the parachute that's still sticking out. Well, just like everything before, you're just gonna fold it on top of itself. So you fold it back, shove it in there. So now the parachute itself is packed. All you got to do is worry about all your little cords. Grab this sucker, walk up to the car. Again, there's a million ways to do it. Some people like to make it look nice and neat. I just like to make it functional. Grab all 4 of these, right? Because you got the 3 outers and the 1 inner. And I just start laying them down inside of here in a circular fashion on top of one another. Just like this. It doesn't have to be super neat. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just want to make sure they all stay in order. About halfway through, I make sure I push everything in the bag, make sure nothing's getting tangled up. Do it again. Push it down. Again, 5 pounds of shit, or 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag, but hey, it works. All right, so now you're getting to what I consider the more important side of things. So, as you can see, everything comes together. Now they're stitched together, so it's a little bit easier to handle. Your length, there's a couple ways you can cheat with your length. You can put a piece of paint or some marker on this and know hey, I want that sticking out the bag. For me, I kind of freeball it, and sometimes they're long, sometimes they're short. But the main thing is, right, you're going to put this in this case, the air launcher, facing in. Again, you want everything to come out in a sequence. It's very important that you put this, your cord hanging away from your release cable, because you don't want it to get caught on there for any reason. So for me, This might be a little dangly, but I really don't mind it. You can kind of mock it up and see. I'd say it looks pretty good, right? So you got it in there. It's going to come off on the left side, so it's going to be away from the release cable. You want to tuck this in so it looks nice. And there's our parachute pack. If you were to grab this right here and walk back with it, it would fall out in sequence. It would never get tangled up, it wouldn't ball up, it wouldn't come out as like one big pouch. As you walk further back, it would come further out. So these here are like mounted dead straight, so they're not the easiest. The ones that are kind of angled up are a little bit easier. Stick this guy right in there. So yeah, I got this coming out this far side. It's away from the cord. This to me is the easy part now that I got the right size bags. Do the bottom first. So it's very important here that the last one, right, that you put in there, which is where most of the pressure is going to be, is the same side as your release cable. And I'll show you why here in a second. I'd say it's a pretty nice packed parachute. Alright, so you're going to stick this guy through. If you notice, if you look at it from the top, see which way this is getting pulled? It's getting pulled towards it, right? It's very important because if it was the other way, it would want to pull off of it. So like you're going down the return roads, you're going to the staging lanes, or you bump in and it shakes and it slides off, your parachute comes out early. So you really want to make sure that you're on top of that, it's going in the correct direction so you can pack your parachute nicely. And look at that. Just stand back. That's a pretty good packed parachute. It's how I pack all of them. Pretty simple, easy way. Pull it back, make sure it's not tangled, keep folding it in triangle, 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 zigzag, circles, stick it in there. Boom, take that shit to the bank. Pack your parachute like a pro every time. That's for you, Chris Pittman.